Good morning, you guys. Yeah, I decided to do a quick live because the video that I just posted, I didn't know that it was chopped as it was. So I'm off today. So I got time today. I am so freaking happy to be off. Oh, I got a 3-day weekend. Give me the opportunity to catch up on my work, on my history, because I'm caught up on everything else. I got to think, I was like, Lord, why is this history teacher? Because this is my last history. The last history teacher I had, he was just straight to the point, cool, made an A. This particular lady, oh my God. Anyway, y'all, I wanted to do a quick live because the video that I posted was choppy. And so I wanted to take a few minutes to brag on our key Glock. Hey, Miss Clarinetta, being in the top. You know what? I think like yesterday or the day before yesterday, he was in the top. He was like 29. I think he's moved all the way up to number, let's see. I don't want to tell no lies. He's not 29 anymore though. Let's see. He was number 29. And as of yesterday, the Billboard charts say he debuted at number 29. And as of yesterday, he is number 6 on the Billboard. So he's right behind Drake. Drake was number 1. He debuted. So Key Glock debuted at number 29 on the Billboard. Now, as of yesterday, his album is number 6 on the Billboard charts, right behind Drake. Shout out to Key Glock for the great work. We're so proud of him. He keeps it positive. You know what I mean? Regardless to what his music is, you don't see or hear about Key Glock being in anything. As I say, my favorite thing is I heard it's another person from out of Memphis that I guess she follows me, but she always has. It's so funny because I was saying other day. My favorite quote is the main thing is to keep the main thing the main thing. Damn it, she went on the news talking about keep. We're gonna keep the. It's weird. It is, but it's weird. But of course, she's weird too. But Key Glock has kept the main thing the main thing. Okay. Um, and we are very proud of him. Okay, we're very proud of him. It says Mr. I'm telling you. So when people say, well, Key Glock music ain't this or that, it's a matter of opinion. Obviously it is. The numbers say something else. The numbers say something else. Okay. So I could say all day that I'm not a fan of somebody's music. I'm just one person. Okay. I'm just one person. Because it's a lot of people music that I don't like, but that don't mean a hill of beans when you got millions of other people that like it. Okay. So as I say, it's a matter of opinion, and evidently there are a lot of people that love his music and support his music because he debuted at number 29, and as of yesterday he's all the way up to number 6. He has been trailing behind Drake and I believe Kanye. I believe. So shout out to the Glockster. Yeah, we want Glock to keep up the good work and be positive with it. And Glock is like I was saying the other day, Glock is like the definition of like of let the work speak for itself. Okay. Because he don't really let success do the talking. That's what it is. Let success do the talking. Because you don't hear Key Glock saying a whole lot. He don't affiliate with anybody. He's known as Mr. No features from anybody after that situation, after they killed Dog. Okay. So he's not number 6 on the Billboard. Hold on, let me pull this up. It says Glock lands in the his ninth top album, top 10 project on top rap albums chart as Project X. That's Billboard chart. It says he's earned 200. It says Project X debuts at number 6. That's what it says on Billboard charts. Is that wrong? Hold on, let's see. Hold on, you all. Because if it's wrong, I want to stand corrected. Okay. You're right. You're right. Okay, so his album is, you're right, it's number 29 on the Billboards and number 6 on the rap album chart. Thank you, John Brown. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. So it's number 29 on the Billboard and number, I got confused because I thought it went from number 29 on the Billboards to number 6, but it's still number 29 on the Billboard and it's number 6 on the rap albums chart. Okay. Thank you for correcting me on that. It's number 29 on the Billboard and number 6 on the rap albums chart, you guys. Nevertheless, we're very proud of Key Glock. We are very proud of him because it's not easy to peak. Like some people don't even, their albums don't even peak on the Billboard 200, right? And for him to be number 29 and then number 6 on the rap albums chart, we are very, very proud of the Glockster. Okay, that's what we call him over here, the Glockster. Okay. Like I said, Key Glock has definitely allowed success to do the talking for him. Okay, and he's still behind Drake because I think Drake on the Billboard, Drake might be number 1 on the Billboard now. Drake might be number 1. So, like I said, we're very proud of him. He said, "I want Glock to do well because that's what Dolph want." And somebody had written on Facebook, I believe, that folks support Glock because they feel sorry for him. I don't think people don't support folks because they feel sorry for them. Not in this world, not in this day and time. They don't support you because they feel sorry for you. Okay. Now, white people will support you because they feel sorry for you. Black people don't. Okay, because a lot of black people be wanting to see you do bad. Okay, so you just have to outwork and outshine and be in your face, be in their face with it. Okay, to the point where they just have to support you. Okay, and I don't mean no harm by that, but y'all know I'm telling the truth. I love my community, but I have to tell the truth. All right. And so Glock is liked by when he have his concerts, Glock has his concerts and it is racially mixed and they're all rapping his songs. Okay. So I don't think they're in there because they feel sorry for him. If they're rapping his songs verbatim and stuff like that, and he's always selling out whenever he goes on tour. Okay. Glock his music is acquired, and I mean the taste is acquired as it relates to his music. It definitely has a place, and people love his music. Okay, if that's the case, then any and everybody that was ever affiliated with Dolph would be topping the charts like Key Glock and Glock. A lot of dudes were up under Dolph. Okay, um, the guy in Atlanta, I forget his name, was up under Dolph, and people didn't necessarily support his music, right? A whole lot. I can't think of his name, the dark skinned guy, but I like him, right? But Glock is definitely very, very talented, very successful, and Dolph taught him the game, and so he is very wealthy for real. Okay, he ain't got no, regardless to who has better talent than him, he ain't got no creditors chasing him. Praise the Lord, and that's the way that it's supposed to be. Because I'd rather for somebody else to be talented and I be more wealthy. Okay, that's how it's supposed to be. Okay, I'd rather be more wealthy, and you take the fame. I'll take the fame and the wealth. But if I had to choose between one, I'm gonna take the wealth, and so the creditors won't be chasing me down. Praise God. Okay. So, but anyway, shout out to Key Glock. We are very, very proud of Key Glock. We always uplift him on this channel. We always will. Okay. Because that's just how we do it over here. That's right. We always uplift the Glockster on this channel. We don't, we never believed, when people was putting out narratives that he had something to do with what happened to Doc. We already knew that that was not true. But he never said a word. He just kept on working through his pain and letting the success speak for him. And that is what you are supposed to do. Allow the success to speak for you. So shout out to Key Glock. Now, I don't know what went on with the video that I posted, but I was talking about it. The volume kind of went out when the lawyer was talking. And the lawyer that he had on his case that is no longer on his case. Okay. The lawyer that he had on his case that is no longer on his case. He was talking about hold on, you guys. Okay. So, anyways, I was reading a text message. The lawyer was talking about he don't believe that they have a federal case. He was saying that he does not believe that they have a federal case. And when I pulled it up, I mean, it does blur the lines of that. It does blur the lines of that. But I'm going to tell you, because they could argue that the guys didn't travel from Tennessee to Texas. They were already in Texas, because I think they've tried to say that they were already in Texas and they were recording and all of that. They was already with Pooh Shiesty. But the fact of the matter is, they could really argue that. But the fact of the matter is, it also said in the law that the machinery type weapons that we saw that the young man had in his hand made the case federal. Also, it made it federal. It made it a federal kidnapping. So that's something that the lawyer did leave out. But what he tried to do was, this is where I was going to say all of the division is going to come, and all of the telling. I ain't going to say snitching. This is where all of the telling, they're going to open up the floodgates of heaven and start telling on Pooh Shiesty. Okay. We see what the lawyer said, and I said it before he ever even said it. He said, we never saw Pooh Shiesty. I said, they're going to try to argue that Pooh Shiesty did not have the gun. So that's putting everything at the feet of the young man that had the gun. He said, you never heard all this drama and criminal activity until they put Yo Gotti on Jay-Z and LA Reid. Well, here's the thing about that. What Yo Gotti does is Yo Gotti got in with the elites. Getting in with the elites, he was able to get a bigger credit line. Okay, because I mean that helps to put money in their pocket. They'll loan you more money. With they tax it with an interest on it. And so in order for him to make them payments, he got to really tax these artists. He got to really sign these artists. I'm gonna tell you how Yo Gotti doing it. He looks for an artist that has made a buzz for themselves already, that's got a popular song. Okay. Glorilla, just like Pooh Shiesty, could have really did something with F Ninja Free. Okay. That could have been an anthem. She could have put it on t-shirts. She could have just got rich off the t-shirts. F Nigga Free. Okay. I would have bought the shirt. Okay. F Ninja Free. Okay. All of the gay guys would have bought the shirt. Okay. So she would have had two communities, the female community, the gay community. Okay. And I mean, some of the men might would have bought it. Some of the straight men, F Ninja Free. You know, I don't want no F Ninjas around me. She could have really played with that and put it on t-shirts and made that a whole brand. But we already know she didn't know how to do that, but Yo Gotti did. All Yo Gotti wanted was that song. He even stole it from the producer. The producer don't talk about it no more because they done paid him off. Okay. They ain't give him what it was worth, but he took it because he ain't had the money to fight Gotti. So that he took whatever they gave him. So what he do is these artists make themselves popular on the internet. They don't know anything about business, and they work hard to make themselves popular, and all he want to do is license their song and own their brand. This is how he is creating his generational wealth, and they don't make no more money off of themselves. Now Gotti owns it, and he crumb feeds them off of their brand. All he wanted was that song. That was and he wanted that song, and he wanted to own that tagline, and he got it. Okay. And he's been spoon feeding her ever since. He owns her name and everything. This is how he pays his debts off. He's able to use these license these songs, or when he able to make his credit line, get a bigger credit line by using these folks' songs and stuff, and the artists. It's almost like the slave trade as collateral. That's how he does it. Okay. But as far as like Pooh Shiesty, you know, will Pooh Shiesty get out of this? I don't know. I think the odds are against Pooh Shiesty, and I think I was talking about like Pooh Shiesty does not have a light in his eye. Like it's, I hate to say it like this, but there's no sign of life there. When you look at his eyes, it's so sad. There's no sign of life. Almost like when they say with aliens, is there a sign of life in another planet? There's no sign of life there, which is scary. He's so institutionalized. He's subject to do anything. And I believe even right now, he feels like he did the right thing. Okay. And so what's going to happen, especially down there in Texas, they have to make a point. Okay. They got to prove a point, because they don't want those artists down there, especially they don't want for other artists to feel like they can come to Texas and get away with nothing as it relates to that. So they're gonna really try to make an example out of him. Now his lawyers are going to argue Pooh ain't had no gun, this and that. Well, that's putting everything at the feet of the little flunkies that he sent out. They're not going to take too kind to that because they never would have been involved in this if Pooh had not brought them. They were his muscle. They was given the weapons because they got back on the bus. So we know they couldn't afford no machinery like that. They ain't got a pot to piss in. And they ain't had the money to get back on the bus. They got back on the bus with stolen items. So I know Pooh Shiesty, being the hardcore allegedly street criminal thug that he is, he's not going to allow them to put everything at the feet of his sent outs. I know he ain't gonna allow that, not unless he's going to, because he's a finesser too. When he's sitting up, Gucci is double his age, done live double his life, and he tap him on the shoulder. You a street nigga, ain't never did nothing. He say that to him, like he talking to one of them little 15-year-olds on the street, as if he can say that like that means something to a real businessman that's got something. Ain't never did nothing, like him saying that on camera means something. Real street nigga ain't never did no police stuff. That's saying finessing him. Now he older than Gucci could be his damn daddy. He his daddy age for real. And he thought saying a tagline like that gonna stop a man that has lived double his life and had double his experiences from being on his behind. So I think he's so institutionalized, right? But what's going to end up happening is those little dudes, they're going to feel like he'll be better off in jail, okay? Because they're trying to put everything at, we see what the defense is going to be. You heard the old lawyer say, Pooh never, you didn't see Pooh with a gun. You didn't see him with the paperwork. Well, that's putting his daddy had the paperwork. Okay? So he said, well, everything is the same. He's still on 1017. That's what's going to piss the jury off. You trying to tell us we didn't see and hear what we just saw and heard? Now you trying to bullshit. Okay. So, I really think at this point, even though I really wish that this had not happened, Pooh Shiesty looked awkward on his pictures when he was out. He's so used to being told what to do and when to eat and when to go to bed and when the cells are locked down, and his mind is that of how you do things while locked up in a cage. Being locked up in them jails, everybody breathing the same air, ain't no fresh air coming in, it's recirculated air, all the same diseased air and stuff. It ain't never been good for nobody. Okay. That's why even down there at 201 Poplar in that jail, when a lot of those jailers retired or had to retire because they were developing cancer in record numbers, that's something that needs to be dealt with. Especially all of the jailers that work down there in lower level. I don't know why they don't sue. And it's because of that mold, and it's recirculated air. They can't go out for lunch or anything like that. Everybody breathing in the same air. All of them developed cancer that had worked down in lower levels. Some of them dead, some of them beat it, some of them fighting it right now. Okay? That had worked down in that jail for years. And you think about it, those people that retired from the jail, they have been there 25, 30 years. That's 30 years of sucking up diseased air with mold and that old jail and all of that. Great Face says, where did they say they got the video from, or did they mention that at all? They said they got the video from out of Big 30's phone. They said they retrieved the video from Big 30's phone. That's what was in the paperwork. So how they got it out of Big 30 phone, I don't know. Did they get it from the cloud? Did Big 30 give them his phone? But they said, that's what they said, that the video was retrieved from Big 30's phone. Or did somebody else give them the video and said that it came from Big 30's phone? But I think they said they got it from Big 30 phone. Now, what's going to be interesting is who did Big 30 send the video to immediately um after it was recorded? Because he said it's a done, you can hear him in the background, it's a done deal. He letting whoever he sent it to, whoever got the video right after it happened, that's who need to be, their asses need to be worried, okay? They need to be worried. Big 30 said in the background, done deal. It's a done deal. He recorded that. He said, Pooh Shiesty said, tell him it's gonna be interesting. Who is them? Who is them that Gucci need to tell? Because see, Gucci is a mogul in the industry too. It's a lot of industry people, real industry people and execs that would not accept the video like that from Pooh Shiesty. So it had to be a hater. That's a shyster. Okay? That ain't never did nothing right, that like to kill people because they jealous of them or they surpassing them as far as money. It's got to be somebody like that like to sign artists to license their stuff so that they can pay that $100 million back. It's got to be somebody like that. Okay, because them real record execs, Pooh Shiesty wouldn't have been able to bring them nothing like that because they mess with Gucci. So it had to be a low level, alleged exec that's known for sending folks out on hits and stuff for people that when they get jealous and all that. Okay. He says CMG, right? That's who I'm thinking. He says I can only think of one person, but I ain't gonna say his name. I'll just say Mario. So, like I said, whoever it was that Big 30 texts the video to, okay, because I'm thinking Pooh Shiesty and them had direct contact with Gotti. At this point, they had direct contact with him. If he was giving him alleged money, they had direct contact with him, so they was able to send it to one of his numbers, I'm sure. Big 30 got to be a damn fool, okay? Because Big 30 been out all this time. So did they ever get, because see, Big 30's, Great Face, tell me this, was Big 30's deal only by way of Shiesty's deal? Like it was like all tied up in Shiesty's deal, right? That's the reason why 30 Gotti them was trying to finesse 30, because they wanted 30 to try and finesse Shiesty and to sign it with them. So 30's deal was only by way of Pooh. It was on like the back end of Pooh Shiesty's deal, right? Like on the cart of Pooh Shiesty's deal. Am I right? It wasn't a deal by himself. It was all tied up in Pooh Shiesty's deal, wasn't it? The Chopper Gang deal. Great Face says, I mean, they made sure to mention they knew Big 30 was getting money from a record deal, right? Where did they get that information from? Well, Quet said it. Quet was the one that said that Shiesty was gonna get a deal like $5 million, and Chopper Gang got had a little clause, a little deal that was tied up in it was by way of Shiesty's deal. I take Govan for whatever he said. I believe him too. He ain't really told that many lies other than he wasn't involved in what happened to Dolph and try to put everything on Cornelius. You know, I get to thinking about that now. Anybody that believe Govan when he say that Juke listen to Cornelius, Juke is a street dude. I mean, they don't get Juke no credit. It's been folks that claim they love Juke, and they didn't just do all types of shit on top of his grave like Juke was just nothing. Okay, he's supposed to, somebody like Cornelius, who is a known pillhead, Juke is supposed to just let somebody like him influence him. He don't even know him. He a pillhead, a known pillhead, and he's supposed to let somebody like that walk up to him and influence him to kill Dolph. Now ain't that an insult? Was he really a street dude like that? Great Face says, Edward says, a big 30 endless though, money bag, remember. But they was getting ready to give him another advance though. I bet 30's advance. I bet that money with 30 was more so maybe a kickback for getting Shiesty to sign with Gotti and them. Okay, because he had definitely had been finessing that. Because Gotti, I mean, is 30 still signed with Endless? Because they say he's not on bag label anymore, is he? That show you how it's a middleman. Dudes like that don't get to walk up on a hook type. Said that shows you how it's a middleman. Dudes like that don't get to walk up on a hook type. What's up, Cypress? Because I wonder how that really works. If he is signed, if he is already signed with Endless, how was but he said Chopper Gang. So he's still on Endless. So he was getting ready to tie himself up in yet another deal. I mean, because he wasn't really, he was gonna take that little $1 million or whatever they was gonna give him, and he wasn't gonna get another dime. Because his now the money you got coming in gonna be split 3-4 ways. Because they run through $1 million quick. Because what they first thing they do is go to Johnny Dames because they're so darn stupid. And go buy a car, a $250,000 car. I mean, what kind of sense that made? They said Connect Music Group is basically an extension on Endless. Okay. It says like 42 Dub is CBFW and CMG. That's just too many owners right there. That's just too many owners. Everybody got their finger in the pot, and all they see is that advance money. They don't realize that they run through that advance money so quick. They doing shows and stuff and wondering why they ain't hardly getting no money. They still owe the record company forever. Mr. N said it. He said the deal is never meant, the advance is never meant to be paid back. Mr. N told you that. He said when they advance you this money, it is never meant for you to pay them back. Yeah, this is what I was trying to show you all. Well, it says that the music was copyrighted, so I can't show it. He says, right hand for you to be in the hole. Right. It's for you to be in the hole. And you heard Mr. Ian say they be showing you different kind of books and stuff. They don't even show you the right books. You think like what as much money as these artists making stuff off of shows, if they only advancing you $1 million, you done paid that back in a whole year. You done paid that back in a year. I'm gonna tell y'all something. It's the same way. They do the exact same thing on houses. Like if you buy a house, they give you a 30-year mortgage, right? Now the house is probably houses are up to a decent house now is 350,000 because If you buy a house for 100 and some thousand, it's straight hood. You straight in the damn hood now. Okay. So, but let's just say that you get a house for 150,000, that's gonna be in the projects now. Okay. So they give you a 30-year mortgage, and you paying something probably like $700 or $800 a month for 30 years. They killing you with interest. When you can get a car, you get a car for, I don't know, folks paying $80,000 for cars and stuff now, which is crazy. And 80 and 90,000 for cars, and then you pay for a car in 5 years. If you get a car and you got to get 6 and 7 years, I think now they're making laws against that, because you really, 5 years is a long time to pay for a car. If they got to give you 5 years for a car, that really means you can't afford it. So you may need to wait it out, because you really is supposed to be able to pay a car off in 4 years, 3.5, 4 years, no more than 5. So if you could pay off a car in 5 years, that's almost the same price as a house. Why you got to have a 30-year mortgage? That's kind of how the record company does it. That means you could pay that damn house off in 5 years. $150,000 house. You don't need no 30-year mortgage. You could pay that shit off in 5 years, really. They doing 7 years on, oh my God, you got to be kidding me. Folks paying for cars for 7 years? I would never. I think they was trying to make laws against that, that they was taking up the years and stuff on a car. You have never, a car, it used to be you never went, they wouldn't even, if you couldn't pay a car off in 5 years, they wouldn't even give you no loan. I read something about that a long time ago, that they're doing something. They're passing laws now to make it where, because they're trying to add all these years on for paying. If you got to pay 7 years for a car, don't get it. You can't afford it. Get you another car that you can afford. Okay, let me tell y'all something. What you need to be worried about, you have a lot of millionaires now. They'll go, I noticed with a lot of millionaires, because okay, so with a lot of millionaires, they like a Lexus. They might have like a Lexus truck, or if they real rich, sometimes they'll get them when they get ready, when they retire, they sell their business or something like that. They do something, they treat themselves to like a drop top Corvette or something like that. That's a treat to themselves. They already been rich. But I'm retiring now. I decided to just get me a toy. They do that for fun. But the whole time they done rode around in I was looking at a lawyer that my sister and I went to, and I was out on a case out in that area, and he had a big old GMC. It was a new one. It was backed up to his law practice. That man rich. He wouldn't even take our case, because he said, listen, and he was good. He was bad to the bone. He's like, wow. He was like, well, he said, well, they definitely stole y'all inheritance. And he pulled it up. He sat there with his leg crossed. He was an old white man. He said, yeah, they definitely stole y'all inheritance. And then he pulled up a whole lot of stuff. He called another lawyer, and he was like, you could do this. He played dirty too. He was like, she put the building in her name. We could contact the IRS and they could start hitting her with taxes. I play real dirty. He said, here's the thing though. They stole y'all inheritance was $75,000 a piece that they stole. He said, we only take $1 million cases. Like the least, he recommended us to another lawyer. He said, I'm gonna recommend you to another one, because he didn't take cases. We was looking at his billboard, and looking at the blackboard in his conference room of what he had written up there. It was nothing. He only dealt with folks that had millions and millions of dollars of inheritance. He was good. He was nice about it, but that 75 just wasn't enough for him. Okay. Um, but I was looking at um his truck that was backed in, like in front of his law firm, and it's in a nice area over there off of Poplar. I mean, it's shining like new money. It's nice. And that's a rich man. Because he only deal with $1 million cases. But he want to get in his big old nice pickup, and he ain't paying no whole lot of interest on it. He probably paying about $600 or $700 a month. We the only damn fools. And he constantly got money coming in every week, every day with his law firm. He ain't got nothing to prove, and I'm willing to bet his house is about $500,000 or $600,000, because that's all they care about. Give me a new car or a new truck. He probably paid cash for the truck. It was probably about 50 or 60. He could afford it. He or less. They don't charge them what they charge us. He paid cash for it. He living in about a $500,000 or $600,000 gated community, because they all they want is a new car, a nice car that's gonna get them to and fro with no miles on, no mileage on it. But they want that a regular car parked in front of a nice gated community. We different. We want we'll go get a Bentley and park it in front of somewhere a hood in North Memphis where, where if you sneeze in the house, the roof gonna fall on your head. Or if you jump up, you're gonna fall through the damn floor. You won't even fix the roof, but you won't even fix the driveway. You won't fix the house. The wood is dry rotted on the house. You living right in the midst of the damn projects, and you have to park the car in the yard up next to your bedroom window every night so you can hear if somebody trying to break into the car. Okay? The house, if you sneeze too hard, if you huff and you puff, it's gonna fall on top of your head. But parked in the driveway, you got about $100,000 worth of merchandise parked in your driveway, and you ain't got shit. Okay, that's us. That's us right there. That's the us's. Okay, that's the us's. Um, but yeah, I'm just blown away about 7 years. I wouldn't pay 7 years. I wouldn't let no lender get me like that. They don't get no other communities like that. That's for the black people, sis, that wants to live above their means. Okay. Fix your damn house. Do that. Okay. Um, I live around a lot of millionaires. They just is their houses are so beautiful. I be praying, Lord, let one go into foreclosure. I already know, and one ain't gonna go into foreclosure. Not around here, it ain't, because they rich. They knows how to pay their rent. I'm like, oh Lord, well, I don't want to say I want one of them to die, because I don't want nobody to die. But Lord, if it just be your will, just I was running one day and I looked up. It's a house that I want. It's got 3 stories. It's so beautiful. And it would be just enough for me. And I just happened to look up. It's a white man. I mean, it's a black man, a white lady live in it. And I was running one day and I looked up. They were sitting up there and they saw me. And I got so mesmerized. I just started staring. And they saw me staring at them. They waved at me. They waved at me. They sitting up there on their balcony. Okay, up on the top, on the third floor, out on their balcony. I said, Lord, I show, but faith without works is dead. I works my ass off. I understand that I can't just pray for something. I got to put the work in and get into the business that would put me there. I understand that, because see, a lot of us got it real bad. We got the issues coming. I'm gonna just pray. Faith without works is dead. You put the prayer in. You come into agreement with people. Okay, that's going to help you to agree. That's the first thing. Okay, that'll help you. But then after that, we need a sister. We got to pray for you to put a plan together. Okay, to put that work in, and it ain't going to rob people, because a lot of us got the issues confused. I'm gonna just rob them. Saying your electric bill would be payment like the mob. Well, you know they keep all the lights out. They don't have no lights on. I have to tell myself sometimes, ooh, let me turn these lights out because y'all ain't gonna even tell no story. My light bill was like almost $400. When I looked at it, I got choked. I said, I know damn well this. Ooh, Lord have mercy. I don't know what to do other than pay it. That's why I got to have me a husband. I'm tired of paying these bills. I need me a husband that's gonna pay him. Okay, not to sit and look at me, but to pay him. My friend said to me last night, he said, Tam, I got happy one time. He said, I thought you was just playing. He said, I know you was probably just playing, but you said one time, well, Green, I guess I'm gonna have to get you, and we're gonna have to have, I wanted me some twin boys. I said, I guess I'm just gonna have to have you. And that would have been a good choice. He banks. He get ready to retire from MPD. He gonna get about $1 million. He a colonel. He ain't got no children, sis. He ain't got no wife. I need to be his wife, and he gonna take care of me, gonna take care of them kids. Okay. And he always said to me, Tam, if you do this, and he got a master's degree. Okay. So I remember when he was going back to school, he didn't have to do it. He was like, I just want to get my master's. When he got his bachelor's, and I want to get my master's. And now he's talking about getting his doctorate. He would take care of them twin boys, wouldn't he? But I ain't got to. I told him last night, he was kind of talking about it. I said, we've been friends for almost 30 years. We ain't never crossed the line or nothing. But he's want to have some children. And he think enough of me for me to marry me and for me to give them to him. I said, don't you know my body can't carry no kids now? We have to get a lady to carry the kids for him. I said I had to get a surrogate. And he said, well, then I guess that's what we would have to do then. I said, oh, he ain't letting me off the hook. He said, here we go in Memphis, players only live once. Live once. He ain't no player. He's an older guy. I think Green is 59. He 59. He wants some kids. He don't have no children. He 50. He might be 60. He might be 60. He's a good man. Every car in his driveway. He said, he called me on. He said, Tamara, we having a block party for the neighborhood, and we get out in our street, we grill and stuff like that. I said, okay. I remember I pulled on one time, every car in the driveway paid for. I asked him, I said, when you get that Corvette? It was just something I got. I said, how much you pay for that Corvette? It's paid for. I ain't got no note. I don't drive it like that though. I said, oh, okay. He's a winner. He is. But he always been the voice of reason. So I can't keep no man because I'm big, I don't know why I can't keep one. So I was like, I need to have him as my friend. I told him, I said, you wouldn't know how to deal with my personality. He's talking about, I've been knowing you almost 30 years. I already know, you moody. You moody. Sometimes you depressed. Sometimes you happy. He was like, I already know all your personalities. I've been listening to you now for almost 30 years. He said, Tam, have you seen Cypress' picture that Hitta hooked him up? No, I ain't seen it. Hitta hooked me up with a picture. That B, Hitta did me a picture too. Hitta is real good with, yes, I did. Yes, I did. I saw that on Cypress' page. Hitta good with them pictures. Hitta real good with doing logos and stuff like that. He did me a picture with a bee on it, like a honeybee on it for my members. He's done a lot of people logos. Hitta he's gifted. He's very gifted with Even like the thumbnails, when you see his thumbnails and stuff, he does his own thumbnails. He's very gifted when it comes to stuff like that. And I'm glad. I mean, he could really help to upgrade your show as it relates to those thumbnails and stuff. He bad to the bone. Latoya said, It's Alabama Hitter. Alabama Hitter. If you need a logo, any of that, Hitter is good to the bone. He's bad to the bone as it relates to that. He could do you a logo. He could do you a thumbnail. All of that. All of that. Edward Pye says, you a good homebody, which is a blessing to a real man. I'm definitely a homebody. I am definitely a homebody. I'm definitely a homebody for real. I'm gonna tell y'all, I've been the happiest out. Y'all, I'm stopped up because I be sleeping with my ceiling fan on, my air on, and then I bought me a quiet fan. It came yesterday, child, because I be having them hot flashes in bed now. That's another thing. I don't even know if my doctor says I'm still ovulating. I don't know if I am or not because I've been having them hot flashes. I don't even know if I can have a baby. My eggs might be fried. My doctor said I still ovulate though, according to my doctor. You all, so I am going to have a doctor on Friday. We've been talking about this for the longest. He's going to be a guest, a doctor that was set up. Okay, a doctor that was set up. He was set up. But anyways, y'all, back to Pooh Shiesty. Okay, back to Pooh Shiesty. Back to Pooh Shiesty, y'all. Do you all think that Pooh Shiesty is gonna get out of this? Do y'all think that Pooh Shiesty gonna get out of this? Well, you could tell that he is. It says Shiesty is leaving prison now. Well, you could tell that he's used to finessing a lot of those dudes around him. Like, and then they'll say, I'm feeding you. I'm feeding you. Why can't you go do life for me? Like, all this stuff don't make no sense to me. Like, these street dudes, I mean, but it be the ones that ain't got nothing, though. They go for stuff like that because street dudes that's got something don't go for nothing like that. You could tell when they broke, busted, and disgusted because they live by them street with, yeah, you know, you gonna go do the time for me, right? Yeah, you know, you a real nigga, ain't never snitch, you know, you'll go lay down because you ain't gonna talk to them folks. I know I did all the killing. You a real nigga though, you'll go do them 99 years for me because you're a real that they do that to them kids, okay, that cares about what people think. They don't do that to them methodical, logical street dudes that's really getting their money. They already know not to come to them like that. Because number one, they ain't gonna even be intertwined with him because they'll say he too gutter. He ain't got nothing going, he ain't got nothing to lose. His mentality screwed up. I'm getting some real money. I can't be around him. He said, you can't out snake a snake. He sure said, my grandmama said, cut your grass or whatever, whole time I'm the snake. And you could tell he is one. Um hey, but what's his name? He says, one charge carries 25 by itself. This ain't Shelby County. Well, we already see what the lawyers are gearing up at doing, right? Um, uh, you saw what his old lawyer was saying. We never saw Pooh Shiesty with the gun, so that's putting everything at the feet. That's putting everything at the feet of the little send outs. But here's the thing: it's gonna boil down to this: what did the send outs get out of it? They're gonna try to say it was robbery was the motivation, because they really could have got off clean if they had not robbed him. So now they can push at Sheisty's lawyers can say, well, they did it because they want to rob him. Shiesty didn't rob him. But the truth of the matter is they did it for Shiesty, but they'll be able to play with that. No, they didn't do it for Shiesty. They did. Robbery was the motivation. Shiesty wanted to do business. Shiesty, those are grown men. Shiesty couldn't stop them from robbing them. The whole time, he was the influence. But mark my word, that is going to be their defense. Before I ever even heard that lawyer, what that lawyer had to say, that's the video this morning that I played that the audio cut out. I said, I told y'all what the defense was going to be. And sure enough, that lawyer said, well, they showing the video. Not one time did you see Shiesty with a gun in the video. Well, that's putting everything back up on his little flunkies. Right. And they choked the poor little white guy out. Ain't no way in the world Texas gonna ever let them almost kill a white man and get away with it. Okay. Griffith says Shiesty done, and if the rest get off, they will get them in other cases after they use them. Now, let me ask y'all something. Do y'all think that Big 30 gonna get off? Do y'all believe that Big 30 gonna get off? Hey, Kimberly. M. Rose says, yes, they're going to have to use that, but Shiesty was around felons. Either way, he owns the feds. The rest of that time, that's true. Now, that's true. He violated his probation within weeks, not months, within weeks of getting out. Now, how much more time? So, how much more time did Pooh Shiesty have on probation? How much time did he have on probation? Is he the one that said you're not going nowhere? He had 2.5 years. Yeah, well, he definitely gonna at least do 2.5 years. He gonna at least do 2.5 years. By that time, it'll be another sound out. People would have see. That's the reason why these guys have to understand. You have to evolve. Times evolve really monthly, and you have to be constantly as an artist reinventing yourself and being out there evolving with the times. Okay, and him being tucked away in jail, he can't do that. So it'll be something different. But they'll be into, unfortunately, it just won't be the same. They mentioned them 14 bodies in Shiesty last case. I see Whack hinted at it. Wait a minute, 14 bodies? They accused Shiesty of taking out 14 people? He either know or don't know where to get the information from. They accused Shiesty of killing 14 people? He first time getting locked up in Jefferson County, Alabama. He was spooks for real. I don't know, because they say them folks down there, them dudes down there in Mobile, Alabama, they are different kind. You don't want to be down there in Mobile, and you don't want to be in their jail down there either. It says Shiesty Dunn got NLE Chopper baby mama pregnant. He having a baby girl. Is it so? Is it NLE Chopper baby mama? It's NLE Chopper baby mama. So was him and NLE Chopper, were they like beefing? It says Shiesty never stole WAP's phone. Technically, not kidnapping. The feds mentioned 14 bodies from Chopper Gang in his last case. There was a discussion between judge, prosecutor, and defense to bring it up during that case. Oh, wow. No, I don't think they got issues. I was going to say, Lord, I don't want to say what I was getting ready to say. I don't want to say it, Lord. Please don't let me say it. NLE Chopper probably don't care. I'm gonna just leave it at that. I don't think he cares. Kawana says they all need to go to check. Zuma says it will likely remain in the streets. Wow. I tell you, these dudes is off the chain. How many years y'all think they're gonna try to get Shiesty? Shiesty didn't have the gun or anything like that. I'm sure but he was the one. They give the one who's the lead. He's the leader of the gang. He's the known leader. They was acting under the influence, or what's the word that I'm looking for? Great face. They was acting under the influence, or the it's another word that I'm trying to get, under the something of Shiesty. They was acting under the influence of Shiesty and under the orders, the demands of Shiesty, basically. Shiesty has 100 friends, so that's deep. He said he was top shooter for his gang. Right, instructions. They was acting under the instructions of Shiesty, because they didn't really have no interest in anything as it relates to Gucci, but they was stupid enough to rob him. If he get 10 years, if he get 10 years, he'll be lucky. If Shiesty if he get 10 years, he'll be lucky. He need to take them. If they offer him 10, he need to take them. Because them white folks down there in Texas is not gonna understand. They're not gonna want to understand on their jewelry. They ain't gonna try to understand. Okay, they don't care, because they'll let them. They'll give him, make sure they, and the judge ain't neither. They'll give him 50 without a problem. So, hey Stanley, that's what it's gonna be. It's gonna be a lynching. I never should have bought these cashews from all these. They're so salty, I can't eat them. Ain't no need of me trying to eat them either. I have to go to Sam's and get the ones with no salt. And Rose says Govan is in the feds. I wouldn't doubt if he has that video and sent it to him. And Rose, you think Govan sent it? What's up, Ace? This is really what we got going on with Carmelo Anthony. Steven says, M. Rose, look at the charges. He has felony kidnapping, assault with a deadly weapon, conspiracy, coercion, the Hobbs Act. That's 100 plus right there. Holiday Track says, what's up, Miss T? What's up, Holiday Tracks? And Rose says, a great face, I'm telling you. Zuma says, I think they're keeping Shiesty locked until they find Chopper Wop. Wait a minute. They still ain't found the boy that's been on the run? Y'all, they still ain't found Big 30 and them friend that's been on the run. I thought they got him. Y'all, they haven't found Big 30 and them friend that killed somebody. Ain't that the one that walked out of the courtroom or something? Because if he's still out, that's been a year. Almost. If they ain't found him in all this time, that means that they done shipped him over to another country. It's been a whole year. Okay, so he ain't in the United States. A Great Face says, I already know they never released the angles of the video as still shots. Only the video now, no coincidence. WAP still on the run. Well, somebody is. Oh, he said, is he still? You're right. He might be gone. Somebody might be done took him out. Because, you know, as stupid as they are, it's hard for them to be on the run this long. Who is it that he killed? Who did he kill? They said Pooh went back to the feds before they caught him. It says he's still living. And Stephen, remember you said in Govan he was done. That man beat that charge. So I can't say anything. I done seen it elsewhere too. Whoa, Great Face, you be on it. Yeah, I had not thought about that. Who did Chopper Wop take out? Was on the spectrum. Yeah, because who would be taking care of Chopper Wop? Like 30 of them's been so tied up in their own stuff. Who would he have to help to take care of him and keep him on the run? Or he, you know, I'm sure all of the family members that is connected to him, um, they've already gone there. I don't think yeah. So how did Chopper Wop get it? Like he went on the run. Is that the one that they made a mistake and let out? It's something weird about that. Because they always, you have to watch them when they make a mistake and let high profile people out. I'm just say that right now. Just like they said they made a mistake and let Shondell out and didn't know where he was at. And he left the jail with the ankle monitor on. So it was something weird about that too. Says that Steven, I mean, I can't say. Okay, I'm getting ready to look at my email. Hold on, you guys. Let me pull this up right quick. We're gonna show a little bit of this. I think they're working on doing something like this in Memphis too.
They've had an operation going on through the month of October, all the way up through last week, called Operation Hidden Eye.
The attack was in retaliation for the rapper entering a rival gang's territory to film a music video.
In the subsequent days, we saw homicides and shootings, and ultimately the deaths of 2 children as a result of his cowardly actions, and you know who you are.
Authorities say a high-ranking member of the Goodfellas gang who was incarcerated orchestrated the attack using a smuggled cell phone.
Cobb and Clayton County investigators and the FBI say they got these 20 dangerous gang members off the streets. They're facing a laundry list of felony charges.
It seems like I'm trying to help the out. I'm not trying to help him out. I don't care nothing about him. What he got good fame on him, but what he got going on.
Home to one of the busiest airports on earth, a booming film industry, and a capital city that became the beating heart of American hip-hop. But underneath that success story runs a different Georgia. One investigators have been fighting from the suburbs of Gwinnett County to the streets of Macon, from Atlanta's recording studios to the housing complexes where entire crews put down roots. This isn't the story of one gang or one city. It's a journey across the whole state. From the massive RICO case that put Young Thug and YSL at the center of a national debate, to the Piru Bloods who carried a Compton street name all the way into the Deep South, from the 56 gang and drug-rich empires hidden behind suburban shopping centers, to La Gran Familia's military-style syndicate, to the gangster disciples who turned Chicago roots into a Georgia stronghold, from rolling 60s Crips to 5'9" Brims Bloods, from the Lotto gang to the leaders who ran it all until the indictments came down. And on the other side of every one of these stories, the FBI, the sheriff's offices, the district attorneys.
Yeah. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. It is definitely a lot of gangs in Memphis. It is. And you heard what the guy said, what Doty said. He said it's a lot of hybrid gangs in Memphis. Okay, a lot of little gangs that was started off, after they split up from hey Tony, after they split up from like the known gangs. So I tell you, I hate Pooh did that to herself. I do. Because, I think about it. I don't know Pooh's mother, but I will say this. I'm pretty sure, just coming from the areas that they came from and stuff, she's had she's lived in some hard conditions. I'm not saying she didn't work hard or anything. I'm sure she did. And this was one of the first times that he really could have, if he had the right people around him, that would lead him in the right directions. He could have really helped to set his family up for real, like just based on his winner's mind, and just going in another direction of getting money until he could have gotten some good lawyers to really sit down with Gucci. That's the thing that artists do, is that they renegotiate. I'm gonna tell y'all something. This is how I know that this is how they do it. I remember when I first started my production company, and we was like, we're gonna do I told my dad, I was like, I want to do like documentaries, I want to do like reality shows and all that. So my dad started buying me equipment and stuff, right? So we was like, we got to get an entertainment attorney. I started doing the research. I told my dad, I was like, we need an entertainment attorney. We call this an attorney. She's still my attorney, named Nakisha. Reached out to Nakisha. At the time, she was straight out of law school, really, had started her own firm, but she had did her internship in New York working for executives, like for record companies and stuff. I remember during that time, she wrote us up like, and I still got those contracts in my office. She wrote us up like 5 different contracts. And I remember my dad paid her $3,000 for all those contracts. Now, when you reach out to her, you ask her for one contract, she charged $2,500 for one. But back then, I think she was charging us, anyways, all 5 of them was together was $3,000, right? And so she went over the contracts with us. She was like, okay, so when you get like the when you for the reality show, the people that you have on the reality show, they're called the talent. And so, and she was like, I'm gonna tell you what's in the contract. She started explaining to us. And then when she got down to it, she's like, okay, so with your production company, you get the talent to sign off on this contract that they will make $0. And I said, $0? She said, yeah. She was like, while you're doing this, you're gonna have to try to shop a deal, and I'll be with you to try to negotiate that. And so when you start shopping the deal with a network, the very first contract you get is not gonna be a lot. And she said, so I mean, you got to pay production costs and all of that. So I mean, they got to prove their talent. And so I said, okay. I said, so in the contract, so you start paying them like if they get a second season? She said, no, I'm putting in a contract that they work for you for free, period. I said, well, when do they get paid? She said, well, I mean, them being on TV, I mean, they need to market themselves. I said, but don't they get paid? She said, now, here's the thing. If they are smart enough, they might get an attorney. Okay, if somebody becomes a breakout star, if they're smart enough, they might get an attorney and sit down and we could renegotiate another deal. She says, but when they sign this contract, it is a no compete clause in this contract. They can't go and sign with nobody else production company. If they go and want to get on another reality show, that reality show has to give you a percentage because they started out with you. They were seen through your company. It was all types of clauses in that shit. And I said, well, wait a minute. I said, I don't know how I feel about this. I said, I don't want to do nobody like that. She said, wait a minute. You got to try to make as much money. You putting out all the costs. You got to try to make as much money as you can. And if we can get them to work for you for free, that's what we gonna do. I said, I don't know if I want to do that. I said, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. So I know they do it. That's why I can't understand. And she wasn't saying nothing wrong. That's just the sharky practices of it. I was her client. It was wrong, but I was her client. And so she was, if they don't know no better. If they could get smart enough to go get another lawyer, we sit down and we'll renegotiate something better for them. But as long as we can get them to work for you for free, that's what we're going to do. Therefore, you can rack in all the money and you'll have a bigger cost. You'll have more money for a bigger production type situation. So when these damn fools getting with these record execs and they're signing the contract, these record execs make a fool out of them. They'll say, don't I need a lawyer? Oh, we got a lawyer right here. Here go the lawyer right here. The same damn lawyer that just wrote up. It's their lawyer that just wrote up the Sharkey contract. How y'all think I be knowing so much about it? I couldn't do, I can't do that. But sure enough, if I had gotten really into it, you get to thinking about, well, I am putting out all the costs, but at some point you start making all the money. Why would you want for people to work for you for free? I mean, that's, I can't, if there's an understanding, listen, this is a trial type situation. We'll try to shop this to a network, but as soon as a network pick us up, I promise you, because I told her, well, why don't, if a network ever pick up anything that we do, why don't we put in the clause that we'll negotiate? She said, no. Why would you tell them that why would you put them up on that to renegotiate once once a network picks you up? Hell, let them figure that out. So I know these folks Sharky. I know they Sharky. I ain't never getting nobody in them contracts because I ain't got that type of soul. But they still over there. My daddy was sitting there quiet. My daddy said, well, look here, gal, you probably need to stay away from that. He said, I got a feeling I just paid $3,000 for nothing. He said, but now, understand now, she's a lawyer. She ain't told you nothing wrong. That's business. My dad said, and then my dad told me, he said, let me tell you something. He said, if you ever get with the record execs, they're gonna try to do you the same way. They're gonna try to get you to take as less with your creative idea while having your creative idea on TV. He said, let me tell you something, gal. In business, people get rich off of what poor people don't know. That's number one. He said, number two, this is what you're supposed to always do. He said, their job is to always try to get as much off of you as they can for the least that they can. He said their job is to get as much as they can from you for as less as they can. He said, your job is real simple. Always remember this. He said, your job is going to always be real simple, gal. Your job is just to make sure they don't. That's it. He said, they got all the work. It's to try to finesse you. But your job, you only got one job, and that's to make sure that they don't. He said, Latonya said, now this game, he said, what Govan info has there been an update? You know what? Govan has been, his brother in here, Stanley in here. Stanley ain't gonna tell you nothing though. And Stanley gonna say he ain't talked to his brother. Stanley ain't gonna tell you nothing. Stanley, what's the update on your brother? I just saw Stanley in here. Stanley ain't gonna tell you nothing. He gonna say he ain't talked to him in 50 years. Stanley, you ask Stanley, I ain't talked to my brother in 10 years. He gonna say that. Emerald says, as Steven, that pissed me off. Stanley, just like my daddy. My daddy used to always say that when people ask you something and you know this and that, just say I ain't talked to him. They want to try to get some information out you about somebody else. That's why I know Stanley. That's the oldest trick in the book. My dad said, just say you ain't talked to him. I don't know. I ain't talked to him. He said that kills everything right there. I ain't talked to him. She says, as Steven, that pissed me off. Yes, he should have never got a not guilty plea in the Dolph case. He is definitely 100% involved and was supposed to get conspiracy. He said at enrolls, type in Govan's name and you will see his original charges. It was 3, and Jamarcus had the same charges. I don't know why they tried to mastermind. But as far as Pooh Shiesty's mom, like Pooh Shiesty grew up in the area over there, and I know it's impoverished, and she may not have lived over there anymore, but I'm sure he had them living, he bought his mother a house, which was a blessing and all of that. So, I just really wish things had turned out better. Because I mean, as a Black woman, I be loving it when these young men can use their talent to really take care of their families. But somehow there is a disconnect somewhere where they always end up tricking themselves out of their positions. And that's why I say I'm so disappointed with Pooh Shiesty's father, because he never was supposed to allow that to happen. It was supposed to be another way to go about that. It says, Emeralds, type in Govan's name and you will see his original charges. It was 3, and Jamarcus had the same charges. I don't know why they tried to mastermind him. Emerald says it's Stephen. He was the mastermind, but damn near was. He recruited them charges. I mean, he recruited them shooters and all. Emerald says Pooh Shiesty left his mama to take care of that baby girl. Lord have mercy. Yeah. I hate to say it, but he might not be on the outside with that baby girl until she about 12. I believe he might, and he'll be lucky. He might get about 12 years. A lot of people might say, but that ain't nothing. That's a lot of time for a damn young man to be behind them walls. 2 years ain't good. I was just reading about that in my African American literature class. A man that they called him Hard Rock. And a lot of the I did an essay on him. A lot of prisoners had looked up to him because they was in prison and he kind of bucked against the system. He always fought back with the guards, and they was being mistreated real bad in prison. And so a lot of the prisoners looked up to him because they were scared of the guards because of the mistreatment. Some of the inmates had even been killed, and the guards had gotten away with it. But Hard Rock, they called him Hard Rock, he fought back against that. They sent Hard Rock to a mental institution, and he was confined in that mental institution for 90 days. And the reason that this was written by another inmate, the reason that he wrote about it, say when Hard Rock came back from the mental institution after being confined for 90 days, he ain't had his spirit no more. He wasn't the same. And a lot of inmates that drew inspiration from him, they went into depression because he wasn't the same. He was quiet. He didn't fight back no more. He was just like this meek mild person. They don't understand. They probably had put so much medicine in him, it messed his mental up. But it ain't nothing good about being confined behind those walls in a cell. If they do research on animals and stuff, like on lions and stuff like that, when they have them confined like that, even like with whales and stuff like that, I like to like animals. I like reading about stuff like this. When they're confined like whales, when they take them to whale world or whatever world they call it, where those whales are doing flips and stuff, they're always supposed to be out in the ocean, but they're confined to whale world or whatever, where they're constantly going around and around in the same place, like for years, right? And after a while, the whales will stop eating. they'll stop eating. They get depressed and they won't eat no more so that they can die. So if it ain't good for animals, lions get like that too. It's not good for the lions to be in the zoo. That's the reason why when they start whooping the folks in the zoo ass, they ain't got no business taking no job like that. Anyways, when they become depressed, they'll start whooping everybody ass cat raggedy. And you start seeing them kill folks at the damn zoo. They ain't got no business got them confined like that just so that they can make money. It changes them mentally. They become depressed. They'll stop eating too. They don't tell you a lot about it, but they do. And so if it ain't good for an animal, you know damn well it ain't good for a human. I be getting mad when they kill them damn lions and stuff. They killed a lion in Africa, and it pissed me off so bad at the zoo because a crazy pastor said that God, like Daniel was in the lion's den. The pastor went on over there to the zoo and said God is such a good God. He was going to deliver. He provoked God. He said God was going to deliver him from the lion's den and make the lions obey, just like Daniel. God delivered Daniel from the lion's den in the Bible. So the pastor went on over there to the zoo in Africa, and they said as soon as he jumped over in the thing with the lions, they ripped his ass to shreds. They whipped his ass to shreds within minutes and shot the lions, and that pissed me off because I love lions. Why they kill the lions for? Hell, he wanted them lions to eat his ass up. The reason he jumped in there, that's animal abuse. Okay? He jumped his ass over there in the lion's den so they could eat him. And then they shot the damn lions. And that made me mad. Them lions didn't do nothing to that man. He jumped over there with them. And they tore his ass cat raggedy. Because he wanted to bamboozle his congregation even more. Okay, because the Bible speaks about you ain't supposed to provoke God. Yeah, he was black, and he was black. He dead now. He I don't know what he is now because he gone. Okay. Emerald says, Stephen, I know what you're saying. It is like in my city, a switch on a gun. They illegal. So if folks get jammed up with that, it's sometime over here. Yeah, I think it's something going on with the alligators. Everybody in Florida that goes on a run now, the alligators all on the streets. I believe that some is they being released because I ain't never seen so many alligator attacks. And they ain't even got to be in the woods. They walk in the streets of Florida now, just like me and you walk the street. It's something going on. And they attacking people. They said, Rose, I hear you. Manny did switch it up. But what they do with the alligators are, I'm going to have to pray about it because I love me a good leather purse. I ain't going to lie. I won't buy a purse if it ain't real leather. So I probably just don't need to talk. I need to ask God to deliver me. But they could kill the alligators. But I was reading that they don't kill them. They skin them alive. Why they have to be so evil to them? It's better to just kill them. They say some of them shoot them in the head. They shoot them in the head and kill them and then get the skin. I mean, that's cruel too. Why not just give them a shot and put them let them go sleep away silently? They said this is why Dawes folks cussed out Mulroy and those lawyers. Why would the pastor jump his butt with the hungry arrow? He said that he wanted to prove that he was chosen and had the spirit of Daniel. And just like God delivered Daniel from the lion's den, he wanted to bamboozle his congregation. He was really going to be able to, if he had made it out that lion's den, if them folks had got in there in time enough to get him, he was going to really make a fool out of them people in that congregation. They was going to think that he was God, and they was going to be giving them all their money, their houses, everything. It backfired on him. See, you have to be careful about the word of God when you ain't right, because it's like a double-edged sword. It'll backfire on you. Yeah, I tell you. But hey, y'all, we wish, we wish Pooh Shiesty the best. I do. I really hope that Pooh Shiesty can get himself. I think the first thing would be to get some counseling. They give counseling in jail, but his lawyers, what they need to be trying to do is put him into some counseling programs, because that dude is a shell. You could look at Pooh Shiesty's eyes and tell it ain't nothing there. And he is very dangerous. He is very dangerous. Big 30 is a damn fool, okay? But I believe he got some type of, he's been out. He ain't been in jail like that. So he do got some type of humility. It is some human feelings there. Pooh Shiesty ain't got no human feelings. Now, when he had this baby, if he had been out to see this baby born, sometimes that changed people. But I believe Pooh Shiesty more dangerous than King Von. And I hate that, because I want to see Shiesty out. I really do. But I think Shiesty needs to be rehabilitated. I was getting ready to say rehabilitated, but I don't think it's nothing there to rehabilitate. I think that's the reason why you see a lot of people fail. When they go to jail, they say, well, we're going to rehabilitate them. Hell, they ain't never had a damn thing to rehabilitate. It ain't never been nothing there. You have to think about, and so it makes them fail, because they ain't got a concept of what they even talking about. They got to be rehabilitated. They got to be taught something. You only rehabilitate when a person was taught something, and because of circumstances and drugs and stuff, they got off track. You rehabilitate them and take them back to the natural path of to the beginning, to the core of what they was taught. Some of these folks ain't being taught nothing, so they ain't even got nothing to rehabilitate. So, which means they got to start at ground zero. They got to start at ground zero with teaching them things that they weren't even taught in their home, and that is how to love, respect, all of that. Because they don't even have no respect for themselves. That's the first thing that a person needs to be taught in their home, is to respect themselves, because you can't even respect nobody else or care about their life if you don't respect yours. He said, give him $1,000 worth of commissary and a tablet, and I'm straight. Lord have mercy. I told y'all on his pictures, he looked awkward being on the outside. He looked awkward. But that probably come from, if he got 14 bodies, he done did so much dirt. Hell, he can't even sleep at night. He probably sleep better in the jail. Out of town. He says Shiesty's parents failed him. He's better off in prison. He was smashing a federal contractor and violating probation terms. I bet you he feel like it's more of a disjustice. I bet he feel like it's worse on Gucci than it is on him. I bet you that's how his mind is set up, man. Gucci the one that look bad, so I look good. It's worse on Gucci than it is on me. I bet you that's how unfortunately, that's how twisted his mind is. Zuma said it's safer for him in the jail. Yeah, because he looked awkward being on the outside. He done did so much dirt. He's awkward. Respect this job one. Yeah. McNamee says Pooh became institutionalized over that 5-year stretch. They probably got him hyped inside the feds right now. Let me ask y'all something. Before that 5-year stretch, was Pooh in and out of jail? What's Pooh Shiest's name? Is it Lundale? What's Pooh's name? I'm getting ready to pull up his history. What's his? I'm talking about just his history as it relates for being in and out of jail in Memphis. What's Pooh Shiest's name? Lundale what? Is it Lundale? Miss T, look at the information I sent you. Okay. Hold on, I'm getting ready to pull it up. Okay, you guys, I got Pooh Shiesty. Is this his dad's paperwork or his paperwork? Because I don't see Junior. Hold on. I got Pooh Shiesty or his dad's paperwork. Let's see. It's the United States versus Luntrell Williams. Okay, y'all, let's pull this up. This Pooh Shiesty. Okay, this Pooh Shiesty's case from his first case. Okay, the one he did the 5 years for. Okay. It says the United States of America by, and hold on, let me see. Okay, it says the United States of America by and through the undersigned United States attorney hereby files this response to defendant Luntrell Williams' objection to the persistence investigation report PSI. United States agrees that the facts described in the PSI and agrees with the calculation of the guidelines. Okay. It says the defendant is the self-proclaimed co-founder of the Memphis gang Chopper Gang. The Chopper Gang is a criminal organization that has terrorized its community through drug trafficking and violent crimes for years. The defendant, as one of the group's leaders, was the epicenter of the gang's commission of a series of violent crimes, including a October 9th, 2020 robbery shooting in Bay Harbor Island, on May 30th, 2021, King of Diamonds shooting. Hold on, y'all. King of Diamonds shooting, but the Miami shootings are just a snippet of the defendant's years of criminal activity, which were relevant in large part by his social media posts and messages where the defendant unabashedly participated. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to figure out a way that I can read all of it and just go down the line and reading it. It says, Lord, y'all, they got his Facebook private messages. Everybody name in there. Oh, Lord Jesus. And they said in the messages, got to get rid of all these hot guns too. I got a bitch gonna get everything in her name, and T to P got gun license. Lord have mercy. Okay, y'all, here it is right here. These are all of the Facebook messages, all the people that he was talking to. Everybody named, child, on here. He said everybody want to do everything. The streamer for the drivers only. Nobody else should be driving a Ray. Y'all gonna get effed off BSing out here. He said for everybody who got a car, don't need one, I'm taking it. Whoever got gun that I know ain't gonna shoot, I'm taking it. We gotta have a from him, his private messages. We gotta have a real meeting today. Meeting Saturday. We need a meeting. Shit just got serious. It came, they showing his Facebook page. It came from his Facebook. I guess that's, I don't know what that is. Oh my God, that looks gross. Y'all, what is that mess right there? Disgusting. Ah. What is that? Look like a sack of potatoes or something. I don't know why that would be in there. He said P10. And he said P10s for 25, no negotiation. He was selling pills. He was selling pills on his page. Okay. It said, contrary to the defendant's assertions, Chopper Gang is a criminal organization whose operations are highly chronicled through a series of social media messages including a group chat where the gang conducted regular business and discussed its criminal activities. The activities included narcotics distribution, access to and use of firearms and ammunition, and violent gang crimes, amongst other activities. It's not an accurate factual statement as evidenced by the text messages provided by the government, as any discussion regarding purchasing marijuana was for personal use. In fact, the messages excerpted in attachment A to this filing prove the opposite. Um Okay, so that was their response. Hold on, let me see. Okay. Okay. He said, Miss T, if you look up that docket number, you will find that the transcripts were they discussed the bodies. Okay. Okay, let's see. Hold on, y'all. Let me see something right quick. Yeah, make sure you all hit the like button for me. What y'all say his name is? Lontrell Williams? Hold on, y'all. Just give me 1 minute. I'm looking at something. Let's see. Shiesty was born in 1999, right? Okay, the affidavit says that on 12/11/29 at 1800 hours, detective with the multi-agency gang unit. This happened in 2019. Executed a document search warrant for 725. I won't say. Let me look up let me see something. I don't want to say the name of the street because they might still live on that street. It's in South Memphis. It's in the heart of South Memphis too. Oh Lord Jesus. They redid those apartments. Okay. Let's see. It says up on making entry, detectives conducted a protective sweep on the department and encountered a male identified as Lontrell Williams Jr., born November 1999, in the southwest bedroom, sitting on the bed. Lontrell Williams Jr. was sitting on a Glock 22 pistol during the time he was detained. Detectives continued to sweep the residence for bodies, but didn't locate anyone else. After the scene was made, safe detectives could smell a strong odor of marijuana throughout the entire apartment. While searching for the source of the smell, detective located a zip bag of currency and a Taurus PT3 Pro SN okay, in the master bedroom closet. It says, okay, so S9646 located a Ziploc bag of currency and a Taurus PT3 Pro SN number Tango Zebra Kilo 44133 in the master bedroom closet. Detective Murphy located $30 of currency under the couch in the living room. Detective Tate located a Glock 50 round drum magazine, approximately 24 rounds, and a rifle stock for Glock pistol in the southwest bedroom. Detective Mills located a large clear bag of marijuana in the southwest bedroom. Detectives Eldridge located miscellaneous documents, master bedroom. Detective Tate located one Glock magazine with 2 rounds in the southwest bedroom dresser, as well as $605. Detective Eldridge located 3 Navy Federal Credit Union envelopes with Lontrell Williams Jr.'s name in the kitchen drawers. Detective Mills located one quit claim deed in Lontrell Williams' name, senior or junior, not specified. Detective Eldridge located one Regions overdraft notification. Detective Tate located $10 bill in the $110 bill in the name of Lontrell Williams Jr. on the kitchen counter. Detective Warren located one black phone on the dresser. Detective Tate located one black hat with Chopper Gang logo on the southwest bedroom dresser. Detective Tate located a white and gold iPad in the master bedroom. Detective Cockman located one purple with the name Pooh Shiesty on it, as well as Louis Vuitton bag in the southwest bedroom. Detective Murphy located a key fob in the southwest bedroom to a tan Chevrolet Tahoe that detectives were able to locate outside the apartment by pressing the key lock. Detectives could smell a strong odor of marijuana from the vehicle due to narcotics being located inside the apartment, as well as the vehicle being within the scope of the document search. Detectives Mills utilized ADCA certified Mambo and conduced conducted free air sniff around the vehicle, in which Mambo gave a positive alert for to the driver's side door. Detectives located a bill of sale for Upgrade Auto Sales on Mississippi in the name of Lontrell Williams, Lontrell D. Williams, date of birth 1999, was transported to 3657 Old Getwell Road for interviews. The vehicles were taken back to 3657 Old Getwell Road pending seizure paperwork. Lontrell Williams Jr. was advised of his rights and declined to talk. Detective Warren transported evidence to 201 Poplar. The marijuana tested positive for 1.2 pounds. The total of currency at the property was $40,984. Two interest forms were completed for both handguns. Detective seized an unknown number of coins that would be counted and tagged during business hours. Okay. Etc., etc., etc. That was when they got arrested in 1999. That was in 1999. Let's see. So, yeah. That was in Shelby County. That was in South Memphis too. They went and bust in on the house. On the house. It's 90 degrees already, y'all, and it's only 10 o'clock. And my mama making me get out and go get. So I told her I want a potato salad for 4th of July, and she making me buy the potatoes and the mayo and the relish, the sweet relish. So I guess I need to get out because she said she's gonna be through cooking by 12. So I guess I need to go on and get the potatoes so she could boil them and stuff. I guess she boiled them. I reckon. I don't try to fix no potato salad because my mama makes the best potato salad in the world. I don't want to know how to cook it. I want her to cook it forever. At any rate, I tell you, they had a large amount of, they had a gun, they had a gun in every room of the house. I tell you. I mean, they seized $40,000, but he was a rapper. So I wonder if they gave him that money back because he could justify it. Was he a rapper in 99? As long as you could justify the money, they'll give it back. I remember when my cousins used to get in trouble and they would seize that money. Steven. I remember my cousins just get in trouble. They used to seize their money. They would take their money off of them. My aunties, they would call my aunties like they got arrested. They would go up there. They would always get arrested in Tulane. They would always take out. They would always have a big bank roll of money on them. My aunties used to go up there. That's our money that I work. That's my money. He was holding it for no, ma'am. No, ma'am. We taking this money. They would always say that. No, ma'am. We taking this money. It says Stephen Fayette was watching Dolphins as well, and let all them shoot Dolph everywhere and even kill them. Said feds in Boston don't even let you kill anyone. They will watch you, and when it's time, folks start killing. They pull up. Down south is different. Yeah, it is different. They're supposed to intercept. I'm not saying that this is true. I'm not saying this is true, but this is what I feel, even as it relates to Quit, to Hernandez Govan. I think they intercepted something. I believe that of course they've been watching Quit. The people around him and stuff. Okay. That's why okay. So I'm not gonna get too much into that, but I just kind of believe that they intercepted something as well. Okay, because even regardless to what people feel like he's done and all of that, they do have an obligation to protect him. I'm not saying it's true. I'm not saying it's true, but I just got a strong feeling about that one. It's just a thought that's in my head, which means it. I'm not saying that it's true, but my mind tells me that. Miss Tam, did you hear about Pooh Shiesty messing with the super? She done messed over. They're gonna make an example out of her. Now she get a federal contract. It's hard to get federal contracts. It is so freaking hard to get them. And they pay a lot of money. You get a federal contract, you making a whole lot of money. Some charges, and they're gonna make sure it be on her background. She'll never be able to do nothing with the government organization, and they're gonna be watching her. So anyway, y'all. I'm breaking up again. Oh Lord. So Tim, I said the same thing, and she gave Pusha the extra hours the night they did that to Gucci. The feds could be sued if they're letting people die. It's hard for me to believe. Right. They have to intercept. They have to intercept. If they know about it, they have to notify the person too. Yeah, they also have to notify the person. Hold on, you all. I'm looking up something. Hold on, y'all. Okay. Tam, text me a picture of your plate today. Look, I asked my mama, I said, what you cooking? Talking about nothing much. Just my mama liked to make chicken dressing for every occasion. It be good too. I ain't gonna even tell no stories. What she do is she take turkey wings and put it in the dressing, but she make her dressing from scratch. She don't use no stove top or no. She make all of her stuff from scratch, and she use all of the fresh seasonings and all that. It be so good. It have a spice to it. Oh my God, my mama makes the best dressing, and she said she making greens, and I can't wait to eat some of those too. My mother's greens are so good, and I asked her to make me a potato salad. And she asked me to bring some. I think I'm gonna throw some chicken on the grill and make a honey garlic chicken. I'm just gonna grill the chicken. I'm gonna grill it and then make my honey garlic sauce and put it and glaze the chicken with it. And that's what I'll say. I told my I don't even like taking no cooking food and taking it because my kids are so used to like my mother's old fashioned cooking. They don't necessarily they like my food, but they prefer my mother's old fashioned cooking over my modernized cooking. Okay. Over my modernized cooking. Like I do with macaroni and cheese, and I do like a 6 cheese macaroni and cheese. And they'll say, this ain't like Granny's. Mama, what kind of why you put all that different? My Granny's ain't like that. Granny just used 1 cheese. I'm like, okay, and I like mine to be. So I also make another macaroni and cheese. I make a Cajun style macaroni and cheese, and it'd be really good. And they don't like that either. Hello? I said hello, Lord. I just got off the phone. Hey, she Johnson. Let me hold on, y'all. Let me call my mama. I told my mama, I told my mama to make sure she add all of my subscribers and stuff to her prayers when she get up in the morning too. Cause my mama prayers be working. I'm calling her right now, you guys. Hold on. Oh Lord, she didn't answer. I be flipping out when my mama don't answer the phone. I am very obsessive. Okay, she don't answer that phone. I ring it and ring it and ring it, and I send the police over there and everything. She not answering her phone. Wait a minute. Let me call. Y'all think I should call the neighbor? Maybe I should call her neighbor. Hey, Granny not answering the phone. Oh, she on the phone. Well, why she? I was ready to call the police. Why she didn't answer the phone and tell me she was on the phone? Why she ignore me? Why she didn't send me a text message to tell me she was on the phone? Well, no, but she normally send me a text message and tell me I'm on the phone. Well, she started cooking yet? Ask her, tell her I'm going to get those potatoes and stuff and bring it to her for my potato salad. You going to the store today? Brelzy, you know you wrong now. It's hot out there, and rather than you go and get it, I'm your mama. You would rather tell me that you're not getting out. You didn't sound. I believe you is going to the store today. Okay, but I'm your mama though. You should want to go get the potatoes rather than me. Anyways, all right. I'll talk to you later. Uh, Bye. She gonna start talking about I'm cramping. She knew I was gonna ask her to go get them potatoes. Stanley said, Emerald says, I would never let a ninja make me lose my livelihood, no matter what. She should have told him no and kept it professional. My mother's cooking. I'm going to grill. Um, I guess I'll grill today. If I go take that, if I take those potatoes over there today, my mother would make the potato salad today, and I'm gonna take enough potatoes for her to make some potato salad for the fourth, and for me to bring some, for me to bring home also. Real big bag of potatoes at y'all. I forget where I go that they sell those real big tall bags of big bag potatoes. Um, it's not Aldi's, y'all. Where can I go to get a big bag of potatoes? Kroger's is too high. I'm gonna tell you that right now. And I don't think they got no big bag potatoes. Is it Walmart that's got the real tall bag potatoes? Or is it Sam's? Is it Walmart or Sam's? Or it's Walmart that's got the real big tall bag of potatoes? That's where I'm gonna go. Or to Sam's, because my my puppies, my puppies need some more dog food. So I need to get them another case of their wet food. I get that from Sam's. And I always get my the big tall thing of my cheese, my Parmesan cheese from Sam's. And I always get my mozzarella balls from Sam's for my salad. I just need to go to Sam's. I just need to go. And I get my I need some, they have a sale on the heavy cream. And I need to get me some pans, some aluminum pans. And I need to get me some plums. And I got me a real big watermelon yesterday from Cash Saver. And they said every one of them sweet. The guy said all these watermelons are so sweet. I can't wait to. I'm gonna cut it today. I'm cutting it. I'm not taking that one to my mama's house. I'm gonna choke all that down as fast as I can choke it. Kawana says, "Thank you, Jesus, Tamara. You know I'm still fighting cancer, so let her know. Let her know my name is Kawana Maxwell. Okay, I will. I sure did. I told my mom to make sure she pray for everybody on this line. She been getting up at 5 o'clock every morning. We be praying too at 7. So I asked her. She was on this morning and on the praying line, and she mainly be coming into agreement and stuff. Because it's good when you pray to have people on there to come into agreement. And another thing that, if it's something that you all, I want to tell y'all this, if it's something that you all have before God that you want, whether it's more money, debt cancellation, healing, restoration of relationships, all of that, because it's a lot of people that's hurt. I was reading about a case that I'm gonna do a show on. It was in Jackson, Mississippi. And the reason I'm going to talk about it is because I've been seeing it in the last few years. It's been happening more and more and more. And y'all don't let your stomach get upset. But incest has been happening more and more and more. I don't know what is going on, and it's been happening more and more and more in the Black community. It's bad in any community, but it's been happening more and more and more. So I was looking at this morning, I was reading this case where this Black guy that's 41 years old, okay, was having a sexual relationship with his daughter, okay. They found the text messages. His daughter at the time was 14 years old. They found the text messages. The mother said she started noticing that he started wanting to spend more time with his daughter and all of that. And she said, because he had never been a involved father. She went through her daughter's phone. And then when they broke him down and showed him the text messages, he turned around and said his daughter was the one that pursued the relationship. He didn't really want to do it, but she was the one that told him that she looked at him as more than just a father, and she wanted to have sex with him. And they've been having sex. He been having sex with his daughter from 14 all the way up to 17. Let me show y'all his picture because he need to be showed. Hell, let me show y'all something. He got to be showed. These folks got to be embarrassed. They need to be. Let me see if I can find that picture. Thank you, Holy Ghost. We got to start putting the devil on display. Where that picture at? Here you go, right here. Okay, here you go. We're going to start putting the devil on display. Y'all look for a video. I'm doing a video on it. He started having sex with her, probably more than that, but they can only document it from 14, and she's 17 now. And he said that his daughter was the one that pursued the relationship. How sick is that? How sick is that? I'm gonna tell y'all something. I think in the Black community, because it's probably been in everybody's family, in the Black community, people have always tried to hide the child molesters. Okay. Now, this man right here, 41, he's sitting up talking about his daughter was the one who pursued the relationship. What you mean? You don't have a relationship, regardless to if she was sick, you get her some help. If she looking at if a girl looking at her daddy in a sexual manner, that's the time for him to say, you need to get you some help. You don't have a sexual relationship with your underage child, no relatives at all. Okay, but I'm gonna tell y'all something, especially in the Black community, the Black people have always tried to protect child molesters. I'm gonna tell y'all something. I'm only talking about this now because my mother has been freeing herself. My mother has always been like a very passive, like, I didn't know growing up, everybody just thought she was nice, just like the nicest person. She always put other people before herself. That's why I'm like I am, right? Because I looked at how people just kind of took advantage of my mom, right? Because she was always just trying to help everybody. Everybody loved her. Oh, we'll get Ann to do it. Ann to help you. Everybody just knew Ann was going to be the person to help everybody. Ann going to like, so I asked my mama one time. So I was like, I said, as I got older, and especially when I started working for the police department and they started giving us classes and stuff, I started getting involved in helping battered women and stuff like that. I asked my mom, I started getting certifications and stuff and learning the characteristics of women that had been molested, right? And I asked my mama, I said, because folks would always say when I was growing up, you was totally different from your mama. You just a firecracker. You ain't got none of your mama's personality. So I asked my mama, I said, were you molested? For a long time, my mother denied it. Don't y'all know my mother just got herself free since she has been, like, my mother is in her 60s now. She just got herself free a few years ago. And she said, you know, people always speculated that my stepfather molested me. She said, and he was so evil to my grandmother. She was like, I wanted to tell my grand. She was like, I wanted to tell mama, but when I saw him shoot her, I knew how dangerous he was, and so I decided that I was not going to say anything because it would make it worse. And she said he would come into my bedroom, and she said he never penetrated me or anything like that. She said, but when my grandmother, when she would go and stay with my grandmother because they had moved to New Orleans, she said when he would come into my room when mom would go to sleep, and he would rub my butt. And she said, I would play sleep. I was so scared. And I was 7 years old at the time. And she was like, I internalized that my whole life. I never said anything. I just always internalized it. And it makes me so sad for my mother, right? That's the reason why I'm a bulldog on these motherfuckers. When these men think that they gonna violate me, I try to be as vicious as I can be to them. Bitch, you know, I say, leave me alone, ho. I'm putting the folks on you. I'm gonna make your life hell. Okay, because that's the issue. You have a lot of men that feel like they can just violate women. They hate women. Okay, they don't even respect their own daughters and stuff. And so that's one of the reasons why I don't know why I had always been led to, and that's one of the reasons now, even on my praying line, I ask for God to free and liberate women that have been molested. I've never been molested or anything like that. I always wondered though why they were so protective of me. Like I wasn't allowed to sit on no men's laps, and I wasn't allowed to spend the night at people's houses, like other than Vanessa, because Vanessa's mother was very strict, so I could spend the night over there, even though she had brothers. Vanessa's mother didn't play, and but I always pray for that because psychologically it messes them up. My mother is very reserved, and she's just a very loving, kind person. She is. And I can imagine being a 6-7-year-old child with a grown man doing that to you and having to internalize that because of how violent he was, you know, wanting to tell your mother. Instead, she decided that she wanted to just go back and live with my great grandmother, and she didn't even tell my mama. And so psychologically, it can mess you up because my mother kind of affiliate what that man did to her with New Orleans, like with Louisiana. Like I have friends that's down there in New Orleans, and my mother, whenever I go to New Orleans, my mama go, I really wish you wouldn't go to Louisiana. I think it messed her up psychologically. She has not been able to disassociate that it was just that man did that and not the state of Louisiana. And she'll say, and I tell her, let's go to New Orleans. I know I'm never going to New Orleans. I'm never putting my foot back in Louisiana. I'm never going to Louisiana. Like they had gone to Biloxi, and her and some of her cousins, some of my aunties, and they went over into Louisiana. They went over to New Orleans. My mother wouldn't go. She stayed at the hotel. She said, I told him I'm never going back into the state of Louisiana. And my mother's in her 60s now, and it has messed with her since I guess maybe the memory of what happened to her in Louisiana, right? Because that's where my grandmother and that man, her husband at the time, had moved to, right? But people tried to. My grandmother didn't. She never told my grandmother. My grandmother is no longer with us. She never told my grandmother, right? And so that's why I feel like it is so imperative. Like even when you see young ladies that are promiscuous and they're around here sleeping around, people call them fast and stuff. You don't never really know what they've been through. Let me tell y'all something. You have prostitutes working for the police department. When them prostitutes used to come through there, and I used to be typing them statements and stuff, and they was on drugs, all of those prostitutes had the same story. They would tell you they had to get high on crack. They were not there having sex with men because they liked it. They hated it. As a matter of fact, they had such a hate for men, and they would say, I got to get high. I can't have these men on me, in my ear, them talking in my ear. They would tell them, don't kiss me. It was like, it makes us sick for them to kiss us. It makes us sick to hear them moan in our ear. We cannot do this unless we are high. It's not because they like sex. I have an issue with men that say that. You know, when they go, yeah, you know, they having sex with all them men because they like sex. That's a motherfucking predator. I know predators. I've taken classes. I know them. Okay. I know them. I can spot them. No, these women have had issues. A lot of them have been molested, and some of them internalize it another way. They get on drugs. Okay. They've had their uncles and stuff to actually penetrate them as children, get them pregnant as children, and it messed them up. They start getting on drugs at 10 and 11 years old. And so I think we have to be more sensitive to what goes on. You don't ever really know what people have gone through, right? And so I really do advocate for stuff like this. And folks say I hate men. Now I love men, the ones that's healthy. I don't like men that try and violate women. Those the ones that I advocates to. I wants to keep them in jail because they ain't got no business out. Okay, but a person like this right here is sick. Okay, and I think it's time to start shaming these. It's time to start. They need to start putting their faces back on the news like they used to do. Now they talking about these predators got rights. They used to put their damn faces all over the TV to let you know this is a pedophile that was having sex with his own daughter. Okay, now they let the predators have rights. Well, it was just allegations. They suing the news station. Now the news stations, the TV and stuff, they scared to even put them up there. Okay, they really need to be castrated. All the women that's out here, you got women that I mean, they messed up in the head, but you got grown women that's doing, they just be wanting some money. I be having sex because I want some money. I wanna live this lavish lifestyle. Go pay them. Why you got to be out here trying to take and violate women and especially children? Okay. My friend Green talked about right now. He said, you know, Tam, I was sitting at a friend's house. He had a little get together. He said he had a guy there. He said we were all sitting outside and some little girls were walking down the street. He said one of the friends that were there didn't know I was a police officer. He said the little girls walking down the street. He said the dude got them some fine little girls. He said the other dudes knew. A lot of the other dudes that knew I was a police officer. He said they told him, nigga, you sick. Them little girls. Yeah, they fine. Oh, they said, nigga, you sick. Don't you know it's a police officer sitting right here, nigga? You could go to jail. Them little girls. How you gonna call some little girls fine? Okay, and Green and them in their 50s and stuff, 60s. So y'all, it is something wrong. Okay, people do stuff as long as they can do it in peace, as long as they feel like people gonna hide them. And that's the issue with the Black community. They want to they know Junebug been molesting all the little girls and stuff in the family, but they want to protect Junebug. Junebug might be a drug dealer, giving them a little something to pay their light bill. So they allow the little girls and stuff to go through the trauma, and the little boys, okay, and try to protect Junebug. And we got to stop that stuff. What kind of man is it? You want to have sex with your own daughters and your nieces and little cousins and stuff like that? The family should have been handled him. Do you hear me? The men in the family is supposed to handle him. Let me tell y'all something. When I was growing up in Clementine, listen, it was a guy over there that they claim that molested girls. He didn't do it in Clementine. You know why? Because them thugs weren't gonna let him live over there. Us kids, we were never scared to play because they weren't gonna even let nobody from the outside come over there and mess with us. They stood out all day doing their dirt, but they didn't bother us, and they weren't gonna let nobody come into them projects and bother us. When they were selling their little crack and stuff, they would go down to the other end on the side of the projects or whatever. They didn't do it in front of us. Say in the state of Alabama, you getting the death penalty. So I told my mama, I said, you know what? I'm so happy that you getting yourself free from that. But she just pray about it and internalize everything. I told my mama, I really want for her to have a voice. I think it would be so good. I really want to open up a organ. I want to, I know there's copycats in the background from out of this that be living in Memphis. So I'm not going to say exactly what it is that I want to do, but I'm gonna get with some people, and there's some stuff I want to do, and I want to do it in the name of my mother. Okay. Because I can only imagine as a 6-7-year-old girl having that man do that. I really wish you would have told my grandmother, but my grandmother had he was violent. But my grandmother was always a strong woman. Like my grandmother, she said she already knew that she would have killed him. That she would have killed him or he would have killed her because he had already shot her. And that's what I get to talking about. Like when people say, that voodoo and stuff ain't real. Yes, it's real because that man family dealt in that voodoo and stuff. And I don't know, it traumatized both of them. If you think about it, my grandma never talked about it though. My mother didn't either. Those are two people that when they didn't really talk about a whole lot of stuff. My mama still don't. I have to pull stuff out of my mama and she get real mad about it. She'll say, you ain't my mama. I go, but it's really good if you start talking about it and being a voice. But I just know this. I think that's what cultivated her relationship with God so early on, because I don't know what it is about the type of relationship. I always say this that my mother has with God. But when my mother started praying, stuff starts happening. I've seen the manifestations of it. Everybody in my family calls my mother. When something is going on, call Ann. I don't know what it is about Ann, but them prayers get through. Call Ann. Okay, it's just that it's because she's very dedicated and she's been doing it for so many years, getting up at 5 a.m. and taking her chair and going down to the end of her bed and just praying and going into the spiritual realm. Okay. So shout out to my mom. My mom always say, well, you always talked about your dad and this and that. I'm very protective of my mom because believe it or not, like my mother is such a loving person and she's just rare. She is so rare, like a really pure heart to be in her 60s. And because a lot of people is a very selfish. She is so selfless. She is so selfless. I don't know of another person on this earth that is just as selfless as her. And so I'm very protective of my mother because she is definitely a rare gem. And everything I do, like even with working hard and the visions that I have and the things that God is going to do for me, I always say, God, I want you to do it because I want to be able to do this for my mother. I want to travel the world with my mama. I want her to see and just for the last years of her life to be everything. I'm not getting with no man that's not going to let me take care of my mother. His ass got to go. Okay. He got to go. If he don't think my mother's never going into a old folk home or nothing like that, she's coming with me. And God is fixing it right now with that will be able to happen. Yeah, my grandmother would have killed him. She would have. My grandmama would have killed him. I remember like my grandmother's nephew, he grew up with them. He was the same age as my grandma was the baby. And I was a little girl. We was living in Clementine. And he grew up with them like their brother. He had a wife that was real controlling and crazy. And she didn't like my grandmother. So they came into Clementine and he would always come to my grandmother's house. And so he would come to our house when his wife would put him out or whatever. So she would come to get him. She was real controlling over him too. She was a big old woman over him. And so she was cussing outside standing downstairs cussing outside. She cussed my grandmama out. Then she turned around and bent over and raised her dress up with everybody looking. Didn't have on no panties or nothing. Told my grandmama to kiss her ass. Well, when you leave out of Clementine, we lived in the second drive. You would have to go out of the second drive and you go down Clementine, go down the street to get back out into Elvis Presley. My grandmama went into the house. My grandmama always had a 22. My grandmama went in there and got a 22 and shot at that lady. And that lady was speeding out of speeding out of them projects so fast it didn't make no sense. James said she sped out into the middle of Elvis Presley. Y'all know how busy Elvis Presley is. Sped out into the middle of Elvis Presley with all them cars coming. And James said he told her, well, hell, you might as well have they call my grandma Jack. You might as well have let Jack kill us than to get us out here in Elvis Presley and have the cars to tear us up. She was running so fast out of them projects and she never came back over there. When she put him out, he came over there. She never came over there to my grandma's house showing out. Black Barbie says, Tam, do you think that one day she would get on the live streams and just talk about and have conversations with us about basic things? If you ask her, I'm going to ask her to. That would be really nice. She is so calming, and my kids talk to her. If they have problems, they always go to my mother because she knows her spirit is so calming. They already know I'm gonna panic and be fussing and all of that. Okay, my daughter messed around and made the mistake of telling me she was going to Texas with her friends, and I had a fit. I had a living fit. She is not going to no Texas. But then they tell my mama, well, you know, you don't know people and this and that. You need to pray about it. And I don't know if that'll be a good idea. But not me. You're not going. You don't need to be with people you don't know nothing about. I can't soften the blow. You know, people, the girls on her job. Then the girl goes somewhere with the people on her job and then they killed her or something. I think that happened down there in Texas. She ain't going. I know people say, well, she about to turn 28. You can't tell her what to do. I don't care. She is not going. Because I think a girl went somewhere from her, and she went out of town with some people in Texas. Went down to Texas with some people from her job, and they ended up beating her to death or something. I'm going to try to find that article so I can show it to my daughter. She don't need to go. We're going to Chicago in a few weeks, and we're taking my mother. That was one of her gifts. She's never been to Chicago. Me and the kids and my they've never been. None of them have ever been to Chicago. None of them have ever been to Chicago. And so we bought my mom a ticket, and we got a nice hotel, and we are going to spend a few days in Chicago. I went and got her paperwork for her real ID yesterday. I think she's so excited. First, she was like, no, I ain't gonna go because y'all know her leg messed up. She's like, I don't want to ruin nobody's trip. I know y'all don't want to be bothered with me. I said, lady, we already bought your ticket and stuff. You was going. She's so happy. She's so excited. We paid her taxes for her on a house for her birthday. The money she be saving, It's burning a hole in her pocket. I think she want to go to the casino. She like to go play the penny machine. I said, Lord Jesus, if I had to go to a casino and play a penny machine, I wouldn't even go. When I go, I'm going straight to the dollars because if I'm gonna hit big. And if I lose whatever I got, I'm gonna turn around and walk out. 50 cents. I'll pay the 50 cents, but I ain't paying nothing less. It ain't worth my time. I sure ain't gonna sit and play no pennies. Who played the penny machine? Why people play the penny machine? If you hit a whole lot of pennies, it might not even be but $50. Shoot. That's a waste of my time. Who played the penny machine at the casino? You don't win no money. But I don't go to the casino though. I need to go. I need to go so I can win. I feel like if I go to the casino and I lose like $200, I could have bought me some heels with that. If I'm gonna lose some money, have me stressed out. She said my mom sent me articles all day. I don't like my children being far away from me. Texas is too big. Talking about going with some co-workers. She ain't never been to Texas. Yes, she has. She went to Dallas. We went to Dallas some years back, but she was with me. That's different. She's not going to no Houston with no co-workers. I don't trust them. I don't trust her co-workers. She's a pretty girl. They might be jealous of us. They try to do something to my baby. Anyways, y'all, let me get out of here so I can go over here to the Sam's so I can go ahead and get my mama this stuff to make my potato salad and I can come back and grill, get my dog food and all that. Hey, She Johnson, let me tell you something, girl. Ross's been having all of their I wear bikinis. I like bikinis. I don't wear thongs, okay? They've been having all of their panties and stuff, all of their bikini panties and stuff on sale. They've been having like 10 on the rack for like $9.99, and they are good quality. They're nice. They're soft. The colors of them are pretty. They're beautiful, and they're bras. I've been racking up. I've been losing all this weight. My breast, my back going down. That's what that is. I ain't no big back no more. Praise the Lord. I'm back in a 36D. I have been buying 40Ds. I can't fit them no more. Thank God. My breast back into the bra size that it's supposed to be in. And I've been racking up, and they've been having them on sale. Y'all go to Ross. Go to and go to Burlington. Go to Ross and go to Burlington. Yes, go to Ross, go to Burlington. I'm gonna tell you, who got the best panties. Juicy Couture, BCBG, and Steve Madden. Those the only type of panties, the only type of bikinis that I wear. And they're soft and they're nice, and they got them in Ross. They're over in Ross, and they've been on sale. You get like 10 or 12 for $9.99. Go get them. I'm telling you, they're not the hard. They really soft. They be hanging on. All of them be on the rack. Okay. Stanley, Stanley. Stanley got a crush on She Johnson. Stanley got a crush on Steve Johnson. He try. I guess he trying to take She Johnson to Longhorn. All right, you guys. I enjoy being on here with you all. Y'all remember this guy, Stanley. We already know what it is. Y'all, this right here is the guy that was we was shaming him. Okay, this is the guy we shaming. He in jail right now. It's the guy we shaming. Okay. Anyways, that I had up there on the screen. Anyways, you guys, I am getting ready to get out of here and go to Sam's. Listen, I love you all, so I can go ahead and start my grilling. So I can make my honey garlic chicken. She Johnson honey garlic chicken is a good one that you can make on your show. The way that you make the honey garlic sauce is I like to grill my chicken. So I put all my seasoning on my chicken and stuff. And I'm gonna tell y'all another seasoning that I found that is so good, and I got it out of Aldi's. Okay, y'all, I was so shocked that this seasoning is so good. I put it on everything. It is called Chicago steak seasoning. You can put it on chicken. It's good. I don't know what it is, so good. But so I take my honey and make it warm. Okay, I put it in a pan. Heat it up a little bit. I take fresh garlic and crush it in my garlic crusher and put the fresh garlic in the honey. You put 2 teaspoons of soy sauce, 2 teaspoons of ketchup. Okay. And if you want to put some more seasoning in there, you can, but those are the main ingredients. You stir it up, and once the chicken is done, you take it, or you could put the chicken in there. You can put the chicken, take the chicken and add it into the pot, or you can glaze it in the pan. And I'm telling you, it is so freaking good. And that is what I am making for the 4th of July. That's what I'm taking to my mama's house, because my kids do like that. I made it one Christmas and my kids ate all of that. Okay. Anyways, you guys, I love you all. Y'all be safe out there. Make sure you stay hydrated. It's already almost 100 degrees out there. It's not even 12 o'clock. So all you men that's hard-headed, that like to cut your grass on the hottest damn day of the year, don't be out there drinking no whiskey, okay, while you cutting your grass. Wait until 7 o'clock to cut the damn grass. And don't be out there because you're a damn alcoholic drinking and cutting the grass, or else you're going to be laying out flat the grass, okay? Because men bad about that. They stupid. But anyways, you guys, I love you all. I'll talk with you later.